Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Tric Trac TV. My name is Jamie. I'm here with Bruno, and we're here today to talk about his new game with our friends from Days of Wonder, the expansion for 5 tribes, the artisans of Naqala. Have I pronounced that right?
It's okay.
There we go. So, before we get stuck into the game, tell us a little bit about yourselves, because Days of Wonder, Bruno, Naqala, they're pretty well-known names. This isn't your first rodeo in the industry, but a lot of people may not know you like we know you, I suppose. So.
Yes, so I'm game designer, full-time game designer since 10 years about. I have published about 70 games, and some of them with Days of Wonder, and the most well-known are maybe Shadows over Camelot, which was published by Days of Wonder, but also Mr. Jack, Cyclades, and now 5 Tribes, which is done pretty well for us. Quite successful, yes.
Well, this is the new print of the box with the Asador from Cannes, the Tric Trac award, the most important one. But you guys have also won the Golden Geek.
Yes,
I think,
Golden Geek Award, and some other award. Board Game Quest.
There you go. So it's a pretty good run, not just for you, but for our friends at Days of Wonder, who, well, I don't really think you guys need much introduction, but for those who don't know you, as rare as they may be, tell us a little bit about Days of Wonder.
Excuse me, I didn't catch that.
Tell us a little bit about Days of Wonder.
Sorry. So Days of Wonder is a company that was founded in 2002. It's correct, the numbers. Both in the US and France at the same time. And since then, we've been publishing. We're known to publish 1 game a year. The most famous are Ticket to Ride, of course. We have Memoir 44. We published Small World.
The list goes on.
Yeah, we can go forward at the very beginning.
And this is the latest one.
Yeah.
Which has, as we said, has done really well for itself. So much so that you guys have brought out the expansion, or is coming out. Am I mistaken?
It will be released in France in 2 weeks.
2 weeks, and any idea for the American release?
It will be in early August.
Early August.
For Gen Con.
Okay, and a rough price?
Yes, so it will be $25 and €20.
$25, €20. Now you need the base box to play this, so this is a pure expansion.
Exactly.
It adds what exactly to the game?
So first, maybe for the one who don't know the game.
Yes, let's go over the quick game for those who haven't explored it yet.
Just a short overview. So in this game, you want to become the new vizier of Naqala, and for that you need to have the most victory points.
Yes. Okay. Naqala being a very Aladdin kind of.
Exactly. Yeah. The action takes place in 1000 nights.
Yes, that's the one. That's the term I was looking for, but I couldn't find it. Thank you for that.
And you have many ways to get points, but the main mechanism which makes this game different is that you distribute meeples like in Naqala games.
For those who don't know what a Naqala game is.
Naqala is an ancestral, typical African game.
Right.
Naqala, Awele, depending on where the name is not always the same. That means you have to empty a hole and then distribute the token hole after one.
I see.
And the main mechanism of this game is based on that.
Okay, so it's
a new turn. Yes, it's a completely new game, but. With that kind of inspiration.
Yes, a very old principle, which is interesting. Okay, then.
And then first you have to choose one tile, you empty it, you distribute meeples, and you have to finish your move on a tile with a meeple of the same color of the last one you drop there. Okay? And then you make the action of this tribe, because each color is a different tribe. And I won't explain in detail, but you have 5 colors, 5 tribes, which have all their specificities. And then at the end, you can make the action of the tile, because on each tile, you have a specific action which is available. Okay? And you play that way until one player has dropped all his camels on the board, or there is no more valid move. And that's quite all. It's not a detailed explanation, it's a short overview. Okay.
It's an hour-long game, so it is a bit more detailed than that.
It's for 2 to 4 players, and it's 1 hour.
Yep.
More or less, depending on the player. Some of them can take a little more to think of what is possible or not.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's obviously a game. We'll let the awards speak for itself. It's already made its own reputation, let's say. So tell us about this one then.
So this one is named Artisans of Naqala, because the main thing which is added by this expansion is that you have a sixth tribe. Right. You have the tribe of artisans, which is a purple with the purple meeples. Okay.
Gotcha.
This tribe,
for those who've never seen a meeple before,
no. This tribe has two specificities. First, when you collect these meeples, they will give you some victory points at the end. Each of them worth 2 points, but 3 if you have the majority.
So these aren't a new playable race. Yeah. This isn't a new playable tribe. This is a neutral tribe.
Exactly.
Okay.
And the other thing is that the artisans are manufacturing some items. Mm-hmm. So you have precious jewels.
Yeah, precious.
Okay. Which gives you just points from 5 to 9. But you also have some magic items. And these magical items are really powerful. For example, this one that you are showing to the camera.
So this one here, the scimitar, yes?
Yes. Allows you, when it's a
one-time use.
Sorry.
You can. It's a one-time use.
One-time use.
Item. Yep. You only play them once.
When you discard it, you activate it, and this one allows you to destroy, to kill, 2 meeples on the board on the same tile, and this will allow you to take the control of the tile. So it's really important. And you have some specific effects like the magical carpet, which allows you to travel differently, etc.
Okay.
Okay. This expansion adds also 6 new tiles. That means that the board will be a little wider.
Okay.
Okay. And these tiles have some specific effects. You have the village of artisans. When you finish your move on that tile, you have the choice to discard 1 purple meeple or to discard 2 fakirs. And this allows you...
Fakirs being the
slaves.
Yes, right.
It's the same.
Yeah.
So this allows you to draw the first magical token. Okay. You also have 1 hole.
That's a bit deeper than a hole. I'm going to call that a chasm.
Chasm. Yeah.
Yes. On this tile, you don't put any meeple at the beginning of the game, and it's impossible to drop meeple there. That means it's a forbidden tile.
So it blocks off these movements, which is so important.
Yes. And one other thing I didn't explain with Village of Artisans is that on 2 sides you have to place mountains. I
see, okay.
Yeah.
So when you set up these tiles,
yeah.
for those watching the close-up, okay, you always set up 2 mountains, no more, no less, on one side of each tile. Oh,
you see,
like that?
No, you have a picture, yes, there
we go.
And on the bottom for the second one.
Oh,
you have
right,
an icon.
So these shaded areas that indicate which side. Okay, so it's not random and it's not chosen. No. Fair enough. Okay then.
And these mountains block move. That means that you cannot cross mountain. And this is important because for me, an expansion has to break the way the people, the habits of the player. Okay. And this is not a big rule, but you have to think differently when you play with this expansion. And that's what I like.
Well, it seems that, as you described the original game, it's the movement is a key mechanic in the game, that you take everything and you move it outwards.
Exactly.
The fact that you've already got the chasm, which stops you from moving full stop, and the walls that now stop, the mountains that now stop you moving, is quite a big change to that.
Exactly. And the 2 last tiles are specific markets.
Okay. There we go. Up.
So this is very simple. If you finish there, you can pay 4 gold, and gold are also victory points. So you can choose to pay 4 victory points to draw the good you want in the file.
Right, which is
You
indicated by the
choose
green.
the one you want in the
Okay.
9 cards on the file. So this can be very useful to finish your collection and to get more points.
Okay, then. But you have to sacrifice victory points to get it.
Always.
So
But
it's
if you play the good way, you sacrifice 4 points, but you win 10. Because if
like
it's
a good
the
exchange.
last good you need to make the complete set, it will give you 10 more points.
Seems like a good
Yeah.
sacrifice, to be honest.
And last thing, you also have new genes.
Gins.
2 of them, you still know them. It's not different genes, it's just that their iconography has been adjusted to be okay with the new expansion.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So
then.
you just have to
Remove the old ones.
to trash
I
the old ones and replace them by this one. But you also have
see.
2 really new genes which are connected to the specificities of the expansion.
So these are the 2 gins that replace cards that are already in the base box.
Exactly.
So the old cards, you can throw them out or
Yeah.
keep them for collector's purposes. You don't need them.
Yeah.
And these are 2 new ones
Exactly.
that come in up. There we go. There we are. Okay.
So Pta, for example, gives you 2 extra victory points for each purple meeple you have in front of you at the end of the game. A good way to make a lot of points.
When you say in front of you, do you mean not on the board? As in
Yes,
you-
because I explained that when you collect this purple meeple, you keep them in front of you.
I see. Yes, I get you.
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
And the other one, so Geb, I explained that some of them items you can give you a victory point from 5 to 9. Geb gives you 3 extra points for each of these tokens. So another way to get more points.
Okay.
So like always with expansion, you have a lot of possibilities. You want to do everything, but you can't do everything. So you have to make choices, and you have to make the good choices.
Forgot
As
about
per usual.
there's a last item, the tents. You didn't pick.
Oh, these?
Yes, I didn't.
The
Sorry.
little tents. Gotcha.
If this is a new token, so each player gets now a tent. And when you take control of a tile, you have a choice to place a camel or your tent. And your tent will give you extra points depending on the red tiles which are connected to the tent.
I see. Okay. So once again, another way to score more points. This one not based on movement, however. Well, I suppose it is. You've still got to get to the tile.
Yeah.
So yeah.
In 5 tribes, when you finish your move, you remove all the meeple of the same color on your finishing tile.
That's it.
Okay? If you empty it that way, you take control.
Yes.
When you take control, you have the choice to place a camel or now your tent.
I see. So if you've managed to somehow control other tiles around that tile you've just taken control of, it's more beneficial to put a tent instead of a camel.
It's more beneficial to play a tent if you have a lot of red tiles around this tile.
Exactly. Okay, great.
Okay,
So-
and that's all.
So where did the
And you also have a new score pad, just to fit with the new possibilities.
with the new purple meeples
Yeah,
and all the
exactly.
other? Okay. Where did the idea? Where did the will for this expansion come from? Did you feel? Is this like a for those who thought the game was great but wanted it to be a bit more difficult or complicated, or did you just want to push the movement side of things more with these area blocking zones, or?
I always work the same way.
Tell us how then.
That means that at first, when I designed the game, the initial game, 5 tribes, I have for me it was complete. I didn't want to add anything. I thought it was enough, okay? And it was enough.
Clearly.
But from my work was finished quite 2 years before the release, the final release. That means that during that time, I still played it a lot on my prototypes with my friends. Not because I had to play that game, but just because we love to play it. And
Good sign.
after having the experience of hundreds of games, I wanted something more. to refresh my taste.
Your own love of the game.
Exactly.
And 2 years is a fairly long time to develop that. So.
I began to think what I could add. And I didn't want to complexify too much the game. I wanted just to break my routines. That's the reason why I thought about the mountains, the hole, etc.
So when you were playtesting the original Five Tribes game, you found yourself getting into these little habits, and you thought that other people would.
Exactly.
So this would be a perfect thing to break it up.
Exactly.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
And that's
indeed.
the reason why I presented my expansion project to Days of Wonder before the release of the...
Oh, so he came to you with this before this actually went live?
Yeah.
Very interesting. That's an interesting development cycle.
But a few weeks before.
Really?
Yeah.
I was like, we're going to take this one out, but here's another one.
But if a game is successful, I have ideas.
If it's successful, well, it seems to have been, so this follows
And
up.
we've been playing the game for 1 year, so it's been working for 2 years, but we had been playing it for 1 year, so it was the right time for us as well. So.
And did you find yourself getting into these little habits when you were playing?
Yeah.
So it seems like it was made for everyone then. And are there any other little habits you're willing to break? Any more expansions?
I have some ideas.
There we go. That's what I wanted to hear.
I have some ideas. You have maybe people could notice that there is a number 1 there.
I did see that, and I didn't think. I wondered what. But
let's go then.
But you know,
for those who haven't seen the one,
nothing is really
set in stone.
finished for this new project. It's not really decided, and it will happen only if this expansion and the game is still successful. Because you know now on the market it's very hard to know if a game will stay or not.
Of course. This one seems to have stood the test of time.
We hope, but it's still very young.
Of course.
It's only 6 months. It's less than 1 year. So we have some hope, but nothing is really definitively there.
Well, that will be decided by the players, I suppose.
Exactly.
If they like it and they buy it and they
I need
enjoy
you.
it. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. 5 Tribes, the first expansion, the Artisans of Naqala. So this will be coming out for Gen Con.
Yeah, in the States, yeah.
$25.
Yep.
It is an expansion, so you will need the base game.
Yep.
But as we've seen, it does provide some rather unique changes to it, which I think is going to make more than one people very happy.
I hope.
So, gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you, you two, for joining us. I've been Jamie, and I will see you next time.